usually on these Fox News panels, they have like a token Democrat to usually get beat up on a regular basis. That was what Alan Colmes' job was. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember when Hannity had the show Hannity and Colmes, where Hannity, of course, is on the right, Colmes is supposed to be on the left, and he's just like meek guy who gets punched in the face repeatedly and makes Democrats look weak and pathetic. So here we have a token Democrat on another Fox News panel. This is host Jessica Tarlov, and this was in the wake of Trump's Georgia arrest and his mugshot coming out. And of course, you're going to have most of the Foxos here, who are very conservative, are going to pleasure themselves over Trump's mugshot. And this Democrat takes them to task for some of their more absurd commentary on this. Let's watch.
215 pounds. That's quite a cutting figure. That's a professional wide receiver in the NFL. I will say, to Jesse's point, when it comes to the mugshot, you know, there are kind of two different types of mugshots that go out there in the world.
By the way, Trump self-reported as 6'3" and 215 pounds. There were these funny threads all over Twitter, or X, that were saying, here's a bunch of people who are 6'3" and 215 pounds. And it's all these like top-level athletes who are ripped and have like next to no body fat. And then there's Trump. And also, Trump was 6'2" and like 230 or something like that, not that long ago. And now he's grown an inch and lost about 15 pounds since the last time he reported his weight, which was, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. He's just such a shameless liar. 215, my ass cheeks, man.
And then there's the mugshots that you see of people like Frank Sinatra when he was young, or Janis Joplin. And these mugshots, which include people like MLK, these project a different image, not sad and pathetic.
He just compared Trump with his mugshot to MLK and his mugshot. I was talking about this before the mugshot with Crystal, and her and I were in agreement. If he smiles in it, that has the potential to look kind of badass. If you smile in your mugshot, there's something about that says, hey man, I'm good. Like, I'm taking this in stride. You know, I'm comfortable. I don't even think I did anything wrong. Like, I'm basically snubbing my nose at your goofy ass proceeding here that I committed a crime or whatever. Like, did I really? Here I am smiling in the mugshot. And by the way, if you look at all the mugshots of all the co-defendants here, only one of them smiled, and it was Jenna Ellis, and her mugshot looks the best by far. And Trump, of course, goes in there and does the exact opposite. And so everything they're saying here, I couldn't disagree more. They're making it seem like, oh my God, he's a rebel, he's a revolutionary. No, he looks like a doddering grandpa who was involved in a criminal scheme. Like, that's what he looks like to me.
These project a different image, not sad and pathetic, but an image of defiance. And I think that what you're seeing right there is defiance. And that's the exact message that Trump wants to convey, because this is defiance in his estimation and his supporters and for much of America against a broken system.
And I think that that's a clearer indication that the system is working than that it isn't. I don't think, Will, to your point, that anyone except, you know, the biggest Donald Trump fans is sitting there thinking that that mugshot has anything to do with what it looked like when MLK had his mugshot taken. And
she's like, I don't really think people are going to agree with you that he's like MLK, bro. Oh, really? You don't say. You don't say.
Stuff about how much he weighs and all of that. I don't like that kind of commentary. I think it is completely useless, and it distracts from the point here, which is that Donald Trump was indicted.
Come on, it's funny. It's funny because it just shows clearly how much of a brazen liar he is, right? Like, so I'm about 6 feet, and I weigh about 185, maybe 190. You're telling me Trump is 215 and 6'3", 6'2"? Like, he's nowhere near it. It's such a lie that's why people are making fun of it and laughing, because it's such a great example of he's pathological. He can't help himself. He just lies endlessly. So I don't agree with her point that, like, that commentary I don't agree with. I don't care. It's funny, and it points out an obvious fact, which is he's such a brazen liar. There are other ways to do that, of course, but it's just such a clear example here over something petty and useless and meaningless, like what your height and weight are.
Donald Trump was indicted in 4 jurisdictions around this country by juries of regular Americans in New York, in D.C., in Atlanta, and in South Florida, where he calls home. This wasn't Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow sitting there. It was regular people who listened to the evidence that was brought before them. When you say that people are rallying behind him, his diehard base is, but the average American isn't. There's new polling out today. 62% think he committed a crime, including 67% of independents. 61% thinks that he must stand trial before the election. Why? Because you don't want to put someone in office who's going to jail, and 59% think that the DOJ is being fair. That shoots straight through the argument that this is a two-tiered system of justice.
Listen, I'll slightly disagree with her. I think it is a two-tier system of justice. It's a two-tiered system of justice in the sense that elites usually get away with their crimes. The oligarchs, the billionaires, the politicians, they usually get away with their crimes. This is a rare instance of that not happening. So we do have a two-tier justice system. But if anything, the two-tier justice system is the fact that, you know, the Department of Justice gave him like a year and a half to comply with turning over those classified documents when anybody else would have got the hammer dropped on them within a week. That's how it's a two-tier justice system. So she's a little bit wrong there, but I understand the point she's making, that like it's not biased in the way they are saying it's biased, that, oh my God, it's biased against Republicans. Nonsense. The reason why he's in such hot water is because he committed 91 crimes.
Joe Biden is fundraising off of it. You know, Donald Trump is doing the same thing. He's having his moment. Mitch McConnell.
Yeah. So the Foxos are going after him. Oh, Biden's fundraising off this. How dare he? No, of course you're going to fundraise and you're going to try to get support off of the fact that your most likely opponent is a criminal. Of course you're going to do that. It'd be political malpractice to not bring up the fact that the guy that you're probably going to run against has 91 criminal charges against him. Of course you're going to bring that up. What are you, an idiot? So it is good for Biden and Democrats to bring that up. It is hilarious and sad and pathetic for Republicans to bring it up as if they're making a point in their favor. Like, look at me. I have a mugshot because I'm a criminal. Vote for me. Like, you just preach to the choir. So look, to add to her point here, only 25% of the country thinks he's not guilty in the classified documents case. Only 23% think he's not guilty in the business fraud case. Only 26% think he's not guilty with trying to overturn the election. And only 26% think he's not guilty with, specifically in Georgia, trying to overturn the election. You only got a quarter of the country on your side. You only have a quarter of the country. And so this is a rare instance where you have the Democrat on Fox News making the point that, this is right smack dab square in the middle with the country, and all these other clowns up there are idiots and following Trump off a cliff like lemmings.
You know, Donald Trump is doing the same thing. He's having his moment. Mitch McConnell even, remember, he fundraised off Cocaine Mitch. People need the money.
We'll find out. Time will tell if the public agrees with you that it's not a two-tier.
No. We already found out if the public agrees with her. She just cited the poll numbers. I'm telling you, man, these people, they live in a different world, dog. They live in a different world. They are such rank propagandists. It is astonishing. It's astonishing. Like, I would be embarrassed to go out there and say something so confidently and so brazenly, but know that, like, it's just I'm just wrong. I would be embarrassed. I'd be humiliated. But these guys, they have no shame. They're doing their job. They know what their job is. And it's obvious. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.